Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well. From whenever you're watching this channel, I'd like us to quickly visit a story concerning Irungu Kangata's statement. Now,
I, Honorable Dr.
Irungu Kangata made a pronouncement. And I'd like to quickly take you through what Irungu Kangata is believed could have made a very shocking statement, and this is something concerning William Samoei Ruto. Kangata blamed Kenyans for electing corrupt presidents. Corrupt presidents. So Kenyans are the ones who elect corrupt presidents. Now, if that is the case, and that's what Irungu Kangata is saying, then if you look at the presidents that we've had in Kenya, the current one is William Ruto. Then we had Uhuru Kenyatta, we had Moi Kibaki, and Moi na kwenda huko nyuma. So let's focus on the current president, the incumbent.
Going into a circular game. I know, for instance, we all know, let's say, a credible presidential candidate, the kind of money he or she needs to amass. And I don't know how or why then we would expect them to have such large sums of money. And then we don't ask ourselves, where did they accumulate that money from? Unless Kenyans become a little bit revolutionary. Revolutionary means they elect a leader without putting money as a premium. Definitely, then this.
If Irungu Kangata is saying that Kenyans should be blamed for electing corrupt presidents, then Irungu Kangata is directly talking about the current president. So in other words, what he's saying is that people are supposed to be blamed for blindedly voting for William Samoei Ruto, for those people who voted for William Samoei Ruto. But of course, if you look at Irungu Kangata again, he's not being honest. Of course, he could be honest about the corruption part, but on the blame part, I think he's also supposed to carry the blame. I mean, honestly speaking, UDA campaigned for this president. They put the president in power through votes or through any other means that Chebukati orchestrated. But let's just believe that votes are the ones that put the president in power. So then who is supposed to be blamed? Should we blame the Kenyans or should we blame the leadership? I think Kenyans are not the ones to blame, but the leadership that peddled numerous lies. These people talked about so many bad things about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Some of the things about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta were not right. They were not. Some of the things about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta were not true. So it's true, people are very much concerned about the corruption level in Kenya. If Ruto was placed as at number 2, the whole world, the most corrupt person, then Irungu Kangata is saying that it is you and you who voted for him are the ones who are supposed to be blamed for, for putting him in power. But you see, Kenyans who want information nyingi, it's these leaders that peddle a lot of propaganda and rumors, like what they did when they were peddling propaganda to tarnish Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's name. You see, back then, they were tarnishing Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's name, talking about bad things. Some of the things which they were talking about did not exist. That is why you find that these days, some of them come out and say that, oh, they lied to Kenyans. I don't know that you understand the point, ladies and gentlemen. But Uhuru Kenyatta was not that bad, and that is the main reason why people remember him. These days people miss him. That is why whenever Uhuru comes out in the public, the reaction is always telling, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how many of you have spotted Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in public. The last time I checked, around 1 week ago there, Uhuru at a certain place in Nairobi just surfaced briefly. There was some small convoy. Then he greeted the people. But you see, the reaction there was akin to a reaction of people who would wish that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta angeregea to our president tena. Right now, if Ruto is to vie against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta today, I'm telling you the truth. Uhuru will be voted in again now, this time around without even rigging. Uhuru will win. That is not something that we can deny. But William Ruto is the president, and Kangata is saying that Kenyans are the ones who are supposed to be blamed for always voting for the wrong leader. But you see, Kenyans normally rely on information from these leaderships. Take, for example, when Uhuru was in power and deputy president was William Ruto, there were a lot of information that used to come from the side of deputy president back then, William Ruto, and Ruto would give information to the public, and the public believed him. So anything that came from the faction of William Ruto, Kenyans seemed to resonate well with. And that explains how Ruto quickly earned the trust of many people. Now, when Corona came, again, there was a lot of challenge in the government of the day back then. So that challenge, again, there's a way Ruto's faction twisted it to appear as if Uhuru was mismanaging the Corona issues. So anything that came from the government was blamed by the people back then. So that is the main reason why people like Kangata back then successfully convinced the people to vote against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. But if you look at the things that were used to be talked about back then, you would easily vindicate Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta over all the blames. So for someone like Kangata to come out now and blame Kenyans for electing corrupt presidents, hapo kidogo nasema kwamba Kangata ni sawa, Wakenya wamekuwa wakipiga kura, lakini Wakenya wamekuwa kwa misled na viongozi. Viongozi wanapatia Wakenya garbage. See, there's a concept that garbage in, garbage out. If you give me garbage, of course the result is going to be garbage. So maybe what Kangata is talking about is that people ended up, voting for the wrong people. But you see, they voted for the wrong people. They've been voting for the wrong people because they get wrong information. You give a wrong information, you make a wrong decision. So that is one thing that I think we Kenyans should look at. Kenyans are not supposed to be blamed, but these leaders ndo wana makosa. So just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this latest statement from Kangata. Perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.
Thank you once again for choosing YOLENO TV as your favorite political channel.